Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the George Finnie Stadium on Tressel Field. I'm Matt Florjancic, and I'm here for the call of tonight's women's soccer game between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and the Case Western Reserve University Spartans, the nationally ranked Case Western Spartans. Taking a look at the starting lineups for tonight. Starting in goal for the Spartans, a 5'6" junior from Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, number 0, Maggie Storty. At midfield, a 5'5" first-year player from Upper Arlington, number 5, Cece DePino. At midfield, a 5'5" senior from Olmsted Falls, Ohio, number 6, Lexi Gomez. At midfield, a 5-foot sophomore from Comac, New York, number 9, Abigail Meneses. On defense, a 5'4" senior from Maplewood, New Jersey, number 10, Mary Meyer. At forward, a 5'3" graduate student from Cleveland and Magnificat High School, number 11, Cameron Hartman. On defense, a 5'3" sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, number 14, Katie Rischel. At forward, a 5'1" junior from Suffield, Connecticut, number 16, Katie Davis. At forward, a 5'6" senior from Goshen, Indiana, number 17, Anaya Hartzler. On defense, a 6'1" senior from Lenexa, Kansas, number 19, Elizabeth White. At midfield, a 5'5" senior from Pittsburgh, number 22, Helena Van Bieber. The Spartans are led by Abby Richter, who is in her first season as head coach of the program. Taking a look on the other side of the ledger, starting it off for the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. In goal, a 5'7" sophomore from Lewis Center, number 32, Katie Scott. At forward, a 5'4" sophomore from Blacklick, Ohio, number 37, Natalie Stewart. At midfield, a 5-foot senior from Macomb, Michigan, number 25, Maddie Farrell. At midfield, a 5'5" senior from Pickerington North High School, number 19, Brandy Philippi. At forward, a 5'8" junior from Parma Heights and Valley Forge High School, number 18, Casey Goluboff. On defense, a 5'8" junior from Sandusky, number 10, Paige Ackerman. At midfield, a 5'6" junior from Fairlawn, number 8, Jillian Neal. At forward, a 5'6" junior from North Royalton, number 7, Sydney Rice. At forward, sophomore from Highland, number 6, Ella Barth. On defense, freshman number 5, Carly Beringer. And on defense, junior number 4, Anna Wolfinger. We're going to step aside for the national anthem, and we'll have first half action in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. Matt Florjancic alongside you for the call of today's game between the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets and the Case Western Reserve University Spartans, who are ranked 12th in the country. Case comes in with a record of 2-0 after 2 wins over Ohio Athletic Conference competition last week. They defeated the Capital Comets 4-2, and then they topped the Otterbein Cardinals 4-0. BW comes in with an identical 2-0 record. They beat Fredonia 1-0 last Friday night, and then on Saturday night, they defeated Penn State Barron to win their opening season tournament by a 3-2 count.
results and all of their Yellow Jacket athletic results can be accessed through the BW Athletic website at bwyellowjackets.com. Results are posted within an hour after most athletic events.
The teams are concluding their huddles. The Yellow Jackets on the field at about the 25-yard line. They'll be in their home yellow uniforms with white stripes down the sides and brown lettering and numerals. The Case Western Reserve University Spartans will be in their road blue uniforms with white numerals and lettering, as well as white stripes down the sides of each jersey. Case will start off with possession. This is a very potent Spartans offense, averaging 4 goals per game. And they open up play. It'll be Meneses sending it across the midfield stripe. Now it goes back all the way to the goalkeeper. And Storty will reset with a pass to Gomez. Gomez left foots the ball, but it's stepped in front of by the Yellow Jackets. However, they'll give it right back to the Spartans. And Case will return the favor, but they'll regain it quickly as tracking it down is Meneses. She has her pass directed right back at her, and now the Yellow Jackets will settle in on defense with the ball. Beringer controlled it initially, but it went off the Yellow Jackets, so it'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. And sending it out of bounds for Case is Van Bieber, so it'll be a Yellow Jacket throw-in in front of their own bench. The throw-in does not go well. Case gets possession of the ball. Driving up the field, it's DePino, and her pass across the box sailed just a little bit too long and out of bounds. There'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. That'll be Katie Scott doing the honors. Case takes it away briefly from the Yellow Jackets, but BW will hold possession and send a pass across the midfield stripe. A little dribble across midfield after the Spartans send it at them. Sydney Rice trying to set things up for the offense, but it dribbles past her teammates and goes to Storty, who will start it off for the Spartans. DePino with it in the middle of the field. She left foots a pass up the field to Hartman. Hartman trying to get a step on a defender. Good job by the Yellow Jackets to keep her away. And now Katie Scott will kick it out of bounds and force the throw-in. Spartans lose the ball, and the Yellow Jackets trying to push it up the field. Maddie Farrell with it. She'll right foot it, but it's taken away by the Spartans momentarily. The Yellow Jackets will get it back. Now they'll try to restart something. Stewart trying to track it down. A Spartan will beat her to the ball and try to start things up for this potent Case offense. Ball goes out of bounds off of Stewart, and it will be a goal kick for Storty. Storty charges the right foot into it. It's sent back at her by one of the Yellow Jackets. It'll go off the head of one of her teammates, but Storty will track it down, and she'll scoop it up before she rolls it over to another teammate. The kick is sent back at her by Paige Ackerman. Case trying to get it out of the box. The Yellow Jackets putting on some pressure. It's Stewart with the ball. She gets it taken away. And now the Yellow Jackets will regroup and try to take it right back as Philippi is battling for it. He gets sent back to Ackerman. She retreats while getting the ball over to Beringer. And now Beringer will send it back to Katie Scott. Scott puts the right foot into it, over to Ackerman. Ackerman right foots the ball across midfield and cases Lexi Gomez, who's from right up the road in Olmsted Falls, will track it down. Storty will reset for the Spartans, trying to get something going here. The Yellow Jackets doing a good job so far to keep this very potent Spartans offense away from Katie Scott's net. 5 minutes into this one as DePino tries to control it, looking for a feed up the field. The Yellow Jackets will track it down and send it in on Katie Scott, who will tee it up and send it down the field, looking for a teammate. It's redirected by the Spartans, but then Ackerman sends it all the way down to the field, where Storty will control it. Over to Gomez. Now it goes to DePino. But Stewart is there for the Yellow Jacket takeaway. Trying to use some fancy footwork to get positioning and forces Case to knock it out of bounds. So it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be Ella Barth doing the honors. She's looking for Stewart. Left it a little bit too long. Now Sydney Rice is involved, and she prevents the Spartans from getting a possession, but they'll take it right back. Now Ackerman really battling, and the Spartans will get a throw-in. Oh, check that. The Yellow Jackets will get a throw-in, and it goes to Sydney Rice. Rice, the leading goal scorer for the Yellow Jackets on a season. She's scored 2 of their 4 goals. Case prevents a golden opportunity for the Yellow Jackets, but BW will reset with possession. It's Jillian Neal trying to find a teammate, but the Spartans take it away. Anaya Hartzler gets a step on a Yellow Jacket midfielder, trying to slip a pass to a teammate, but it's taken away by Ella Barth. Barth with the right foot has her pass redirected back at her. The Yellow Jackets will still retain possession. Stewart tracking it down near the sideline. And back to Ella Barth. Barth drops it back to Ackerman, who sends it over to Beringer. Beringer now over to Wolfinger, who's battling hard against one of the Spartans, trying to hold possession. Tries to slip a pass to Beringer, and fortunately for her, it was knocked out of bounds by one of the Spartans. While we have a second, want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. Storty with the ball. Bounces it a couple times before she punts it down the field right to midfield, and it goes to Van Bieber. She tries to get it to a teammate, and it'll be headed toward Katie Scott's net. One of the Yellow Jackets will put it up in the air, and Paige Ackerman will head it away from the box. The Spartans retain possession. Van Bieber with the ball. She gets a slide tackled away and knocked out of bounds by Paige Ackerman. The Spartans with the throw-in, but it's taken away momentarily by the Yellow Jackets. Now Sydney Rice giving fierce pursuit, but Gomez will beat her to the spot and send it back to Storty. pass for DePino is a little bit too long. Ackerman will track it down and send it up the field to Neal. Yellow Jackets continue to battle the Spartans. Nobody really holding possession for too long here in the early going. Just shy of 10 minutes gone here in the first half. Tracking it down, Cameron Hartman. Left-footed pass, trying to go across the field. It's headed away by the Yellow Jackets. The Spartans will retake possession just on their side of midfield. But the Yellow Jackets, will take it away. Casey Goluboff trying to work it up the sideline, but the Spartans will take it back. Lead pass for Hartman is a little bit too long, and it'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets, Katie Scott.
The men's golf team returns to play on Saturday, September 10th when it hosts the BW Fall Invitational at the Pine Hills Golf Course in Hinckley.
The goal kick bounces around off of a couple Yellow Jackets before BW sends it across midfield. It'll stay in bounds, forcing the Spartans to track it down. Storty trying to push it up the field. It's headed away by the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Rice headed it back towards the goal, but with no real direction on it. And Storty was there to take possession. Working it up the near sideline. Pass goes to Katie Davis, but it's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Stewart battling at the midfield stripe, taken away by Mary Meyer. And now over to Hartzler. She gets it back on a give-and-go pass from a teammate, and then puts it on the left side to Van Bieber. She's trying to get a step on the defender. She does. She rockets a right-footed shot, but it's right at Katie Scott, who corrals it for the save. Scott will send it up the left sideline. And it's last touched by the Spartans before going out of bounds. That's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. DePino there to take it away for the Spartans. She'll have it knocked away by one of the Yellow Jackets. Stewart tracking it down. Sends it over to Wolfinger, who will kick it all the way back to Scott for a reset. And Scott will charge the right foot into it and put it just shy of midfield, where a Spartan tries to hold on to it. Van Bieber with the ball. She uses some fancy footwork to get through a couple of Yellow Jacket defenders and then try to slip a pass, but Paige Ackerman is there to deny it and send it up the field to Stewart. Now to Wolfinger, who sends it across midfield. Rice against two Spartans, unable to come up with the ball. It'll go all the way back to Wolfinger, and now she'll try to get it to Sydney Rice once again. But again, Lexi Gomez is there to take it away before she turns it over. And that's Maddie Farrell charging a right foot into it. Lead pass just a little bit too long for Goluboff. Casey Goluboff had a step on a defender. And if she could have redirected that crossing pass, could have been a whole lot of trouble for the Spartans early in this one. Storty with a goal kick over to Gomez. Now goes up to Van Bieber. Over to DePino. She'll reverse it to the right side. Hartzler trying to hang on to it. She'll pass it back to a teammate. And now it looks like the Spartans will go with a full reset as Storty will direct it over to Gomez once again. Left-footed kick. Gets it up to Van Bieber. She left it for Katie Davis. Now back to Van Bieber. Over to Katie Davis again. Left-footed shot is scooped up by Katie Scott. That's her second save of the game. Scott runs it out to the 10-yard line and then launches a punt across midfield. where Meneses takes it away from the Yellow Jackets. Mary Meyer with the ball. She passes to Hartzler. Hartzler gives it to Hartman. She rockets a left-footed shot, but again, it's corralled by Katie Scott. Scott punts it down the field. Bounces off of one Spartan. Goes to another. Taking it away from one of the Yellow Jackets is Katie Rischel. But a lead pass is taken back by the Yellow Jackets. Stewart with the ball. She's fighting hard along the near sideline, trying to get it to a teammate. That'll get it right back to her before DePino steps in. Her lead pass is broken up by Ackerman, and it goes out of bounds off of Golubov. So it's a throw-in for the Spartans. Hartman trying to get a step on the defender. She gets into the box. Redirect, gets it around another defender, but the Yellow Jackets are there to knock it away. Up to midfield it goes, where Gomez heads it back to one of her teammates before the Yellow Jackets track it down. Stewart trying to hustle towards the sideline, and she's unable to get there. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Mary Meyer doing the honors. Bounces off of a Spartan. And some miscommunication by the Yellow Jackets, but they still take the ball away. Meneses trying to push it towards the goal. She has it redirected by the Yellow Jackets. It goes out of bounds off of Stewart. And another throw-in for Mary Meyer of the Spartans. She throws it over to Katie Davis. Davis has it taken away by Beringer. Beringer kicks it out of bounds off of Davis. This will be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, and Anna Wolfinger will do the honors. Our first substitution of the game goes the way of the Yellow Jackets. Stewart will take a seat, and coming into the game for her is junior midfielder from Lewis Center, number 2, Bailey Hall. Wolfinger on the throw-in. Gives it to Farrell, looking for Rice. And it's possessed briefly by the Spartans before the Yellow Jackets get it back and try to push it down the field. The ball gets redirected over to Storty. And she sends it to the right of her net. Good battle along the sideline as Katie Rischel is unable to hang on to possession. And the Yellow Jackets will get a throw-in. And ball is headed away by one of the Spartans, but the Yellow Jackets will control it. They'll send it back to Ackerman. Now over to Beringer. Beringer over to Wolfinger. Wolfinger up to Hall. Hall to Farrell. Farrell steps around Gomez and right foots it down the field. However, she hits a Spartan with the pass, and Case will get possession. DePino trying to push it through 2 defenders, and she is unable to do so. However, she draws a foul on one of the Yellow Jackets. Looks like Maddie Farrell was the guilty party on that, as she threw up both of her hands and in the direction of the official to say, what was the call on that? DePino had something to say about that, but nonetheless, the Spartans got possession of the ball. They'll take it back from the Yellow Jackets now. It's Mary Meyer trying to push it to DePino, unable to keep it in bounds, though. Yellow Jackets on the throw-in. The Spartans take it right away as Van Bieber dribbles it up to Davis. Case looking for another shot on goal, but the Yellow Jackets will send it away. Meneses trying to pass it up the field to Hartman, but it's knocked out of bounds by one of the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Spartans. Meneses tracks it down, Sends it over to DePino. DePino battling hard outside of the box to try and hold possession. She's unable to do so. The Yellow Jackets pushing it away. Hall is giving great pursuit, but Gomez has a better angle on it, and she should be able to track it down or let it go out of bounds and then settle for the throw-in, which is what she ultimately does. She gets it up to Van Bieber, but it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. The Yellow Jackets will take it away. It's Hall getting it up to Rice. Rice's pass is stepped in front of by one of the Spartans. Rice will get it right back, though. She charges towards the ball, looking to get it into the box. It's tripped up by a defender and then has it taken away by Gomez. Gomez up to Van Bieber. Over to DePino in the middle of the field. She'll reverse it over to Hartzler. Up to Hartman. Now Hartman charging hard towards the box, but it's taken away by the Yellow Jackets, and it'll be sent out of bounds for a Case Western throw-in. Mary Meyer to toss it in. Finds Van Bieber. She'll give it off to DePino. DePino led herself a little bit too far, and again, it's sent out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. Meyer to DePino. DePino trying to pass it to Van Bieber, and it'll roll out of bounds. Substitution, one aside. We'll get you those young ladies' names in just a second.
For Baldwin Wallace, number 13, Sydney Mudge.
Freshman forward Sydney Mudge from Birch Run, Michigan, checks in for the Yellow Jackets. And sophomore forward from Redondo Beach, California, Carolyn Cortez checks in for the Spartans.
Into the game for Case Western, number 7, Carolyn
Couture, excuse me. I apologize to the young lady for mispronouncing her last name. Van Bieber with the ball. Send it to Couture. Now left-footed shot sails high and wide of the net. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Hartzler had plenty of leg behind the ball. Just put a little bit too much on it. Katie Scott charges toward the ball, sends a right foot into it. It clears her teammates and is taken away by the Spartans. It's Hartzler with the ball. Slide tackle attempt. Slows the Spartans but doesn't take possession away. Now a crossing pass into the box. Goes a little bit too long and out of bounds. It'll be another goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. .22 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the first half, and we are scoreless as the undefeated Yellow Jackets and undefeated and nationally ranked Case Western Spartans couple substitutions for you. One of them, number 36, first-year midfielder from Cincinnati and St. Ursula Academy, number 36, Mackenzie Muller for the Spartans. Also into the game, first-year midfielder from Columbus and Dublin Kaufman High School, number 12, Julia Flynn. Gomez with possession for the Spartans, sends it back to Storty. Storty reverses it, now trying to get it up the field. The Spartans will retain possession, push it up that far sideline. But the young lady trips and the Yellow Jackets will take it away. Meneses will get it back for the Spartans, but it'll only be momentary as the Yellow Jackets will battle for it near midfield, and they'll be awarded a throw-in after it goes out of bounds off of Case. Now the Spartans will get a throw-in as it was last touched by the Yellow Jackets. Van Bieber has it taken away. Wolfinger is boxing her out and forces it out of bounds off of her. It'll be a throw-in just south of midfield for the Yellow Jackets. They won't hold possession long as Flynn and the Spartans will try to get something going. Gomez with the left foot sends it up the field. Hartman in pursuit. She'll get there first. She rockets a left footer toward the net, but it sails wide and high. It'll be another goal kick for the Yellow Jackets.
Full season on Saturday, September 10th, when it hosts a non-conference match against Franciscan University at the Pop Collins Tennis Courts at 12 o'clock.
Scott's goal kick is eventually controlled by the Yellow Jackets, and they'll give it right back to her, so she'll send it back up the field with a left foot. Offsides call on the Spartans, and a good thing, too, because Cameron Hartman rocketed a shot past Katie Scott that would have been a goal had they been on sides. But she got one step behind the last Yellow Jacket defender in front of Scott, and that drew the call. Scott sends it up the field. Yellow Jackets and Spartans battling for it. Philippi will track it down, send it over to Wolfinger, who'll give it right back to Katie Scott. Scott with the right foot sends it up the field, but the Spartans are there to take it away. Van Bieber up to Coutures. And now the Yellow Jackets and Spartans are battling for it, and there'll be a foul called against one of the Spartans. BW will get a free kick. Katie Scott sends it down the field. It'll be collected by Farrell, but she left it a little bit too long for Rice, and it's taken away by the Spartans. Coutures tracking it down along the far sideline. She'll put a right-footed shot across the field, and it's tracked down by one of her teammates. Good battle there. And just outside of the box, fortunately for the Yellow Jackets, Ella Barth is called for a foul as she got tangled up with Cameron Hartman. Good battle along the left side of the field. But a little bit too much contact. Now I'll draw a free kick for the Spartans. It's Hartman who'll tee it up. And she is tied for the Spartans' lead in goals scored this season with 2. Hartman's left-footed shot is headed towards the net, and it's knocked out of bounds by one of the Yellow Jackets, so it'll be a corner kick for BW. Corner kick for Case Western, excuse me. And also apologies to the Yellow Jackets. I forgot to mention that they traveled to Oberlin on Wednesday night and were 2-1 victors over the Yeomen.
And subbing in for Baldwin Wallace, number 29.
Corner kick
And number 32, Bella Regal.
hits the side of the net and goes out of bounds. It will be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. The Spartans take it away momentarily. The Yellow Jackets will get it back. It's Philippi trying to get it to Barth. Barth has it taken away by Hartman. Now over to Ackerman, who will send it out of bounds. Left-footed shot sails wide and high of the Yellow Jacket net, and it'll lead to another goal kick for Katie Scott. This is the first road game of the year for the Spartans, as they defeated Capital and Otterbein both at home down on their University Circle campus. Sydney Rice with the ball trying to feed it to Hall, but it's taken away. It's Gomez kicking it back to Storty. Storty sends it to the right side of the field, where it's again battled for by the Yellow Jackets before Menesis gets a left foot into it, sends it up to Cameron Hartman. Hartman gets it up the field to Couture's, now looking for a teammate, but left it a little bit too long. Samantha Crammon unable to control it, but it was last touched by the Yellow Jackets. So it's a throw in for the Spartans. Crammon sends a right-footed shot towards the net, but it hits the side of the goal and goes out of bounds. It's a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Hall checks out, and checking into the game for the Yellow Jackets, number 22, Mary Litzinger, the 5'6" freshman midfielder from Sardinia. Spartans send it up the field, but Scott is there to scoop it up. She'll run it out to the 10 and then launch a punt down the field to a teammate. And that is Litzinger, who headed it down the field. Litzinger takes it away from the Spartans, trying to set up Rice for a pass, goes out of bounds off of Case. Will be a throw-in for Ella Barth of the Yellow Jackets. Philippi battles for it before getting it over to Litzinger, who has it go out of bounds. Off of her, it'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Under 14 minutes to go here in the first half from Tressel Field inside George Finnie Stadium. And the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets are hanging tough with the 12th-ranked Case Western Reserve University Spartans. We are scoreless through 32 minutes. Barth heads it down the field, but does so right to the Spartans. And they'll have it taken away again. Sydney Rice trying to track it down just to the right of the box. She puts her right foot into it. It's blocked in front of the net before the Yellow Jackets kick it out of bounds. That results in a goal kick for the Spartans. That's really the truest test that Storty has had tonight. And she didn't have to do much as one of her defenders stepped up in the lane and absorbed the shot. Storty sent it right and had it sent right back to her, so she gives it to Gomez on the left side of the field. Andrea Silva, a 5'2" freshman first-year forward from Lorton, Virginia, has checked in for the Spartans. Spartans given some good pursuit up the sideline, but it's taken away by the Yellow Jackets once again. Gomez trying to work it up the field, does so to Meyer. Meyer couldn't pass it through to Yellow Jackets. It goes out of bounds off of BW. It's a throw-in for the Spartans, but it's headed right back toward Meyer from Barth. Meyer sends it sky high, where Barth again heads it down the field. Bella Regal, who's checked into the game for the Yellow Jackets, trying to track it down, so send it down the field where the Spartans will reset with Storty again, passing up to Gomez. Gomez with a beautiful left-footed kick, but it sails past all of her teammates and rolls all the way to Katie Scott. Scott over to Beringer. Sends it up the far sideline where it's taken away by one of the Spartans. That's Katie Rischel. Rischel up to Flynn. Now left-footed shot from Coutures is blocked by Ackerman. Ackerman giving a good battle up front, right in front of the box. And she draws a call against one of the Spartans. It's a free kick for the Yellow Jackets. Again, while we have this opportunity, I want to remind you that tonight's game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dane Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Ratuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. The ball, the last touch by the Spartans along the far sideline. So it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. And they'll send 2 substitutions into the game. Beringer, one of the 2 that will take a seat. Jenna Eitel, one of the 2 Yellow Jackets now on the field.
The game for the Yellow Jackets, number 12, Jenna Eitel, and number 20, Kaylee Neal.
Kaylee Neal also checks in. Ackerman hustles after it, kicks it out of the box and out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Spartans. Throw-in goes over to Silva. Silva with a step on a defender trying to center a pass when it's knocked away by the Yellow Jackets. Battled for along the far side where the Yellow Jackets will push it up the field before the Spartans try to reset. Crossing pass sails wide of the net and dribbles out of bounds. It'll be another goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott with the right-footed shot. Sends it to the 40-yard line where it's headed out of bounds. Off of the Spartans. That's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Ella Barth will handle it. She gives it over to Bella Regal. Momentarily taken away by the Spartans, and the Spartans will draw a foul on the Yellow Jackets. Free kick for Case Western. From 47 yards out. Left-footed kick from Gomez. Gets it to the top of the box where the Yellow Jackets will send it away. Gomez hustles in and heads it to her teammate. It's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Gomez will get it back, and she'll rocket a shot right over the net. It goes through the uprights for the football games, and it draws some Bronx cheers from the Yellow Jacket faithful.
17, Alyssa Scatino.
Melissa Scatino checks into the game for the Yellow Jackets, the 5'8 junior midfielder from Girard, Ohio, and Warren JFK High School. Flynn trying to handle it, and she does. She gets it into the box around a defender. Right-footed shot, knocked away by Paige Ackerman, and Ackerman will send it all the way out to the 35 before it rolls out of bounds. It's another throw-in for the Spartans. Mary Meyer with the ball. It's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. but Gomez will track it down for the Spartans. Silva with the ball on the far sideline, has it taken away by the Yellow Jackets, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Silva, so it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, or are they giving them? No, they're going to give the Yellow Jackets a free kick. A right-footed shot sails long. The Yellow Jackets battling for it, but they have it knocked away by the Spartans. However, it goes out of bounds along the goal line, and it should be a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets. 5:25 to go here in the first half. We are scoreless as the Yellow Jackets and the Spartans have yet to score. Haley Schwade, the 5'8 sophomore defender and midfielder from Lewis Center, with the right-footed corner kick. It's headed by one of the Yellow Jackets, but it's wide of the net and is kicked out of bounds by the Spartans. It'll be a throw-in, and Ella Barth will do the honors. Well, she was going to, but substitution. Caitlin Callahan, the 5'5 freshman defender from Batavia, Illinois, has checked into the game, and she will handle the throw-in as Ella Barth gets some time to rest up. The Yellow Jackets with possession, sending a pass across the box, but it goes out of bounds along the goal line, and that'll be a goal kick for the Spartans. Storty sends it over to Gomez. Gomez with the left foot puts it past midfield, wide of one of her teammates, and Ackerman is content to let it roll all the way out of bounds. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets is kicked away by the Spartans and out of bounds. So it'll be another throw in for BW. Left-footed shot or pass down the field is taken away by Gomez of the Spartans. But Case will hold possession for very few seconds as Litzinger, with some fancy footwork, gets possession. The Yellow Jacket rush up the field doesn't last long. Now BW will battle for it at midfield. Litzinger with the ball. Left foot's a lead pass. It's knocked away by Gomez. Gomez with the good pursuit. Tracks it down for the Spartans. Left foots it up to Silva. Silva working against three Yellow Jackets, but she leaves a lead pass for Coutures, and that's an offsides against the Spartans. Two and a half minutes left in the first half. We are still scoreless here at Tressel Field inside the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Ackerman to handle a free kick and sends it down to Litzinger. She missed the header. Meyer there for the Spartans. She'll send it over to Elizabeth White, who puts it to Storty and then gets it right back. White then sends it back to Storty again. Over to Gomez. Gomez back to Storty. The Case is content to try and find the best possible lane to get the ball up the field. White with a right-footed pass up to Coutures, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Spartans goes to Silva, but it's again kicked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Spartans. Flynn battling for the ball, but it's taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Up to Litzinger it goes. She sends it over to Bella Regal. Regal gets it back after the Spartans take possession, but then Case gets it right back from her. Gomez with the ball. Now it gets reversed over to White off of the foot of Jamie Goldfarb. Back to Gomez. Now over to Meyer on the left side. Meyer back to Gomez, who will send it back to her goalkeeper, Storty, who will reverse it over to the right side of the field to White. White high-stepping her way towards the 30, still maintains possession, slips a pass to a teammate. 20 seconds left in the first half. Crossing pass is headed away by the Yellow Jackets. That's Caitlin Callahan on the defense. Now Ackerman will get in on the action, and she'll head the ball away. Under 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Case with one last opportunity at a rush. It'll be Flynn trying to get a shot off, and Ackerman will deny her as she had a perfect box out to keep a shot from getting on net to Katie Scott. That brings us to the end of the first half. We are scoreless as the 12th ranked Case Western Reserve University Spartans and Yellow Jackets of Baldwin Wallace University have yet to find the back of the net. We're going to step aside for a few minutes, and when we come back, we'll have second half action for you from Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium. Thanks for listening on BWYellowJackets.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tressel Field at the George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University, where the Yellow Jackets and the 12th-ranked Case Western Reserve University Spartans women's soccer teams have played to a scoreless tie heading into the second half. Taking a look at some first-half statistics, the Spartans had 6 shots taken, 3 of which reached goal, but all 3 were turned away by Yellow Jacket goalkeeper Katie Scott. The Spartans and Yellow Jackets each had 1 corner. Case had 2 offsides calls, and one was a big one as it took a potential goal off of the board. Each team has committed 3 fouls, and BW with 1 shot that did not get on net. The shots on goal for the Spartans belong to Cameron Hartman, Katie Davis, and Helena Van Bieber. The Yellow Jackets will start the second half with possession of the ball. Sydney Rice getting it underway. She gets it redirected off of one of the Spartans, tried to rocket a shot from just outside the box. It was batted back toward her from one of the Spartans. Now Stewart given pursuit where Gomez sends it out for the Spartans. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. The ball gets directed towards net. Golifarb with a right-footed shot, and she puts it high of the net. She had a golden opportunity, but sent it just high of the crossbar. Storty will handle the goal kick for the Spartans. It's the best chance the Yellow Jackets have had offensively. And now they'll try to restart it as they battle for the ball near midfield. It's Stewart taking it for the Yellow Jackets along the far sideline. She's trying to work around a Case defender. Unable to do so. Gomez with possession. She left foots a ball up the field that clears her teammate and rolls back to one of the Yellow Jackets. But the official felt that there was a foul, and it went against the Yellow Jackets, and certainly not an inappropriate call. There was a lot of contact. Paige Ackerman trying to pursue the ball, had a lot of physicality towards one of the Spartans and drew the call. The free kick for the Spartans is directed away quickly and back towards their goalie, the goalkeeper, Stolte up to White. White crosses the field to Gomez. Gomez sends it up the field, and it will roll out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Throw-in is sent up the field off of a redirect kick, but it goes back to Stolte once again. And she'll reset it for the Spartans. Kick over to Van Bieber, and she tries to keep it in, but unable to do so. Fortunately for her, she was able to keep her feet when the surface changed from the field to the track. Want to see anybody get hurt. Unfortunately for her, she was able to stop before falling to the field. Stewart battling for the ball near midfield. Sends it over to Julian Neal, who tries to give it right back to Stewart. Again, battling for the ball, but it's taken away by the Spartans. Katie Davis along the far sideline. Left foots it into the box, but it is too far of a lead pass, and it will be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Katie Scott, once again, handling the honors. 3.5 minutes gone here in the second half. We are scoreless as the Yellow Jackets, undefeated, looking to improve to 4-0 on the 2022 season, facing the 12th-ranked Spartans, who are 2-0 coming into today's game, and they're looking for their 3rd straight victory over an Ohio Athletic Conference team after starting off with 4-2 and 4-0 victories over Capital and Otterbein, respectively. Ball last touched by the Spartans. It is a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. But just about midfield, it'll be taken away by Anaya Hartzler. She sends it down the field where Beringer loses a handle on it. But Ackerman is there to track it down and send it out of bounds. Throw in for the Spartans. Right-footed pass into the box, deflects off of Van Bieber. Now over to Hartman, and she'll bury it off of the rebound. Scott with the initial save, but it rolled right back to Hartman, and she dribbled it past Scott into the open net for the first goal of the game. The Spartans 1-0 leaders over the Yellow Jackets with 40 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the second half. Rice kicks it off for BW, and the Spartans now playing with a little bit more urgency as there is a foul called, and then one of the Yellow Jackets took exception and delivered a bump to the Spartans. And that drew the attention of the officials who had something to say to the Yellow Jackets. Again, Cameron Hartman with the unassisted goal, putting the Spartans in front 1-0. Ackerman sends a right-footed ball down the field, and Sydney Rice trying to keep it alive, and Case will be there for the takeaway. The Spartans with possession once again. It's sent up to DePino. DePino has it taken away by the Yellow Jackets. Rice battling for it. She gets tangled up. Falls to the field awkwardly, but still able to get up. And now Stewart with the ball for BW. It gets sent back to the middle of the field. Too long for Rice. Now the Spartans will try to run it with it. Van Bieber with the ball. She's battling Wolfinger, and she gets sent down to the turf in a major way. She's whistled for the foul, and she gets a stern warning from the official. She does that again. We're going to see the official probably reach into his pocket and pull out a card. Anaya Hartzler, right foots a pass over to Rischel. Rischel with a right-footed shot into the box. It's headed away by the Yellow Jackets. Spartans still with possession, though. Good stutter step move to get past one of the defenders. Set up to Pino, and she left it wide of the net. It goes out of bounds. It's a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Scott with the kick, and it's short. And it's actually fielded by the Spartans. Rischel working the ball across the field. Left foot's a pass that sails out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Or for the Yellow Jackets, rather. Excuse me. Ackerman takes the throw-in, sends it up the field with the right foot. The Yellow Jackets with a push. It's Stewart working 1-on-2 up the field. She gets into the box. Right foot's a shot that goes off of the Spartans. The Yellow Jackets are going to get a corner kick on that. Good hustle by Natalie Stewart to continue possession of that ball despite tough pressure from the Spartans and draw the corner kick. Anna Wolfinger will handle the corner kick. Right foots it into the box where it is headed towards the net by the Yellow Jackets, but kicked out by the Spartans. Now the Yellow Jackets trying to regroup and get possession again. They can't. Now the Spartans will try and charge, but Their attempt is sent back at them by the Yellow Jackets. White with the ball for the Spartans. And it sails past DePino and is sent back by Ackerman. Now over to Rice in the middle of the field. Rice gets a step on one defender, gets tripped up, and draws a foul on the Spartans. It'll be a free kick for the Yellow Jackets from about 31 yards out from the net. Rice getting some encouragement from Ackerman. Now Ackerman fakes the kick. Rice with the right-footed shot, and it sails over the net. Good-looking shot, just a bit too much on it for the junior forward. Storty with the goal kick, sends it over to Gomez. Gomez left foots it up toward midfield. It's knocked away from one of her teammates, and it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Barth with the throw-in, looking for Rice. Rice working against two defenders, still breaks free. Lifts a pass towards the box that's batted away by the Spartans. Working up toward midfield, but having it taken away are the Spartans. Now the Yellow Jackets trying to attack. DePino will step into the passing lane and slip it up the field to one of her teammates. That young lady will leave it a little bit too long for Van Bieber, and it'll roll out of bounds. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Jillian Neal controls it, sends a pass up to midfield. That's taken away. DePino with the ball. He gets it up to Hartman. Hartman left foots a shot into the box. That's knocked away momentarily. Second attempt by the Spartans, sails wide and left. It's a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Just under 34 minutes left to go here in the second half. The 12th ranked Spartans of Case Western Reserve University leading the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets 1-0. The Spartans take control of the ball near midfield. Gomez has her pocket picked, though, and it's Sydney Rice working up the field. She gets into the box, rockets a right-footed shot on net, but Storty is there for the save. What a sequence right there for Sydney Rice. And she puts the first challenge on net to Storty. Now the Spartans trying to push, but it's headed out of bounds by Paige Ackerman. Actually, Ackerman keeps it in somehow, and the Spartans will control it in their defensive half of the field and send it back to Storty. Storty over to Gomez on the left side. Gomez with a pass up the field. And one to Hartzler. Hartzler over to DePino. And funny hop drives Rischel back to her side of midfield. She slips it to White, who then passes it over to Storty. Now to Gomez again on the left side of the field. Gomez with a left-footed pass. Goes out of bounds, last touch by the Spartans. It's a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets, but not before we have two substitutions. Throw-in goes to Philippi. She'll reverse it back to Beringer. No, over to Schwade. And it's last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Meneses checks into the game for the Spartans, who have the throw-in.
Number 2, Bailey Hall, and number 29, Haley Schwade.
Schwade just back into the game, as is Bailey Hall for the Yellow Jackets. It's a throw-in for BW. Schwade will handle it. She left it long for Golubov. But Golubov will try to challenge one of the Spartans before the Yellow Jackets knock it out of bounds. Throw in for Case Western. Rischel lobs it into Davis, but now Van Bieber will have it. She'll slip it back to Davis on the right side. Davis with a right-footed kick towards the net, scooped up by Katie Scott and then outletted to one of her teammates. But the Spartans will send it back towards her before Beringer can step up and take it back for the Yellow Jackets. Now up the field it goes to Golubov. She runs to the middle and slips a pass over to Hall. Hall with a good battle going against Meyer. Good shoulder bump on both sides there as they both tried to lower the shoulder and neither one was given an inch. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets, throw in for the Spartans, and now they've got something going. Paige Ackerman with the diving slide tackle to knock the ball out of bounds away from Cameron Hartman. Hartman now with the team leading 3 goals on the year as she scored that
2-0-1 overall is back in action on Saturday, September 10th, when it travels to Meadville, Pennsylvania for a non-conference game against
unassisted goal here earlier in the second half. Case challenging again. BW giving pursuit of the ball, and it's last touched out of bounds off of the Spartans. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. BW being outshot 10-5, and then shots on goal. They're on the wrong side of a 5-1 tally. The Yellow Jackets will take it away from the Spartans. Ackerman rolls to the turf. Slow to get up, but she stays on. Gomez steps up for the Spartans and knocks the ball away. Trying to set up a teammate and left it too long for DePino. It goes out of bounds. It's throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. BW sends it back to Scott, who puts the right foot into it, gets it up to the 32-yard line before it's headed back toward her by one of the Spartans. And then Ackerman steps up and sends it across the field to Golubov. She'll have it knocked away by one of Case's players. But then it's sent up the field by Beringer. Schwade battling for the ball. Sends it over to Golubov. It's headed away by Meneses. Now Hall with the ball. Hall trying to get a step on a defender, but it's taken away by Gomez. Gomez keeps it inbounds with some fancy footwork along the sideline. Now it's Hartzler with the shot up the field. When it goes out of bounds off of the Spartans, it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. And we have substitutions. 1 for the Yellow Jackets and 5 for the Spartans. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Rice trying to set up Hall, streaking up the right sideline, but it's knocked out of bounds, controlled by, or last touch by the Spartans. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Ackerman heads the ball across the midfield stripe, trying to get it to a teammate. He gets skied before taken away by the Spartans. Mary Litzinger checks into the game. She's the lone substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Mackenzie Mueller, Samantha Cramen, Jamie Goldfarb, Julia Flynn, And Carolyn Couture's check into the game for the Spartans. Ball out of bounds, last touch by the Yellow Jackets. It's a throw-in for the Spartans. Rischel lobs it over to Couture's, but it's knocked out of bounds off of the Spartans. Throwing for the Yellow Jackets, it goes to Sydney Rice. Rice along the sideline trying to use her ball handling skills to get the ball up the field. She does. It slips past everybody and rolls to Storty. Storty with the right-footed kick over to Gomez. Gomez with the left footer is headed away by Paige Ackerman. And now the Spartans and Yellow Jackets will get tangled up near midfield before the official will call an infraction on the Spartans. Free kick for the Yellow Jackets. Sydney Rice from the top of the box has it knocked away. Yellow Jackets trying to retain possession and putting it in on net was Brandy Philippi. Mackenzie Mueller with the ball, trying to get it up the field to Hartman, and it's knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Well, we have this time. I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. And Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. Thank you for all of your support of Yellow Jacket Athletics and BW student athletes. Ackerman there to control the ball for the Yellow Jackets, trying to get a pass up the field to Sydney Rice. She does, but it's knocked away by the Spartans and sent towards their goalie, Storty. Maggie Storty will restart the charge for the Spartans up the field. And the Yellow Jackets will have a throw-in, as one of the officials said the ball was out of bounds before it was sent up the field. Schwade will handle the duties after a substitution. Kaylee Neal, a 5'10 sophomore defender from Holly, New York, checks in. The Spartans will knock it away and send it up the field to Couture's. And it's kicked out of bounds by Crammon, who was trying to run up the sideline but lost her footing and sent it out of bounds. Pass gets sent over to Bailey Hall. It bounces off of her shoulder and is controlled by the Spartans. Gomez quickly up to the midfield stripe and launches it with a left footer. The Yellow Jackets there to knock it away. Swing it up the field. Rischel with the ball again. Pass to midfield is knocked away. Rischel will track it down again. Now Montgomery Essex will send it back to Storty, who gives it over to Gomez, but her pass attempt up the field is taken by the Yellow Jackets. Nifty move right there by Litzinger. Behind her own back, trying to get to the top of the box, unable to do so. Now the Yellow Jackets will try to track it down after the Spartans lose a handle on it. It'll be Ella Barth sending it back toward goalkeeper Katie Scott. Now it goes up the field to Schwade. Over to Litzinger. Litzinger has it taken away by Rischel, who will then send it over to Goldfarb. Goldfarb led Hartman too long with a lead pass, and it'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. After a brief possession by the Yellow Jackets, the Spartans will resume their attack up the field as Storti looks to outlet it to Gomez, does so on the far side of the field.
Subbing into the game for Case Western Reserve, number 3, Ashley Jacobs.
Ashley Jacobs checks in for the Spartans. That's her first action of the game. Jenna Idle and Sydney Mudge have returned for the Yellow Jackets. The Spartans in their blue uniforms with white numerals and silver trim are going from left to right across your computer screen here in the second half. The Yellow Jackets in their yellow uniforms with white trim and brown numerals and lettering going from right to left. Another substitution for the Yellow Jackets. Barth will take a seat.
Checking into the game for the Yellow Jackets, number 23, Ellie Pinar.
Ellie Pinar checks into the game for BW. Pass down the field is knocked away by the Spartans, and Mary Meyer will track it down. She'll have it go out of bounds off of her left foot, and that leads to a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets here with 19 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the second half. It's the Spartans 1, the Yellow Jackets nothing. Pass down the field. The Spartans have the advantage as they get into the box. Left-footed shot attempt is knocked away very briefly. Now a right-footed shot attempt is sent out of bounds. It'll be a corner kick for the Spartans to the left of the Yellow Jacket net. Mary Meyer will handle the corner kick for the Spartans. Goes to the top of the box where it's headed away by one of the Yellow Jackets. Meyer trying to track it down. She does momentarily. She'll loft it up to a teammate, but the Yellow Jackets are there to knock it out of bounds. Throw in for the Spartans.
In day number 1 of the Bluffton College Volleyball Spectacular Tournament. The score is currently tied 1-all.
Katie Rischel will handle the throw-in. She's looking for Julia Flynn, but left it too long. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. The Yellow Jackets still with just that one shot on goal here in the game. Case with 5 shots on goal. Just under 50% of their shots have gotten toward the net of Katie Scott. Out of bounds off of the Spartans. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. Schwade gets it back after throwing it into a teammate. Well, the Spartans are there to take it away. Given pursuit of the ball, let's go Tours. She right foots it toward the box, and it will be battled for and sent out by the Yellow Jackets, sent back in by the Spartans, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. Scott puts the right foot into it, gets it out to about the 38-yard line where it's headed away by the Spartans. Crammon tracks it down, scoots it into the box, but it's knocked away by the Yellow Jackets. They send it over to Sydney Rice along the sideline. She keeps it in, but the Spartans will knock it out, give themselves a chance to retreat into a better defensive position. It'll be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. It goes to Rice. Rice has to take it away. And it'll work its way up the field to Crammon, who sends it long down to Ackerman. Ackerman with the right-footed shot sends it down the field. Right-footed pass, excuse me. The Spartans are to take it away momentarily. Now they're going to have to battle the Yellow Jackets for it. Good physical battle. Boils over a little bit too much contact from the Yellow Jackets, and that'll be a foul. On BW, it'll be a free kick for the Spartans. Case won't hold possession long as Litzinger is there to make them battle for it. Ashley Jacobs battling for it just to the left of the box, and she sends it out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. So it'll be a corner kick for the Spartans. It'll be Mary Meyer handling the corner. Meyer's right-footed kick is headed out by Ackerman of the Yellow Jackets. Still retained by the Spartans. Lead pass slips too long, goes out of bounds on the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Katie Scott of the Yellow Jackets. Anna Wolfinger is back into the game for the Yellow Jackets. Haley Schwady will take a seat. Katie Scott launches the kick up the field and is briefly controlled by the Yellow Jackets before the Spartans retake possession. Couture's over to Flynn. Flynn now to Crammon. Crammon has it knocked away by Wolfinger, and she'll send it out of bounds on the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. Under 14 minutes to go here in the second half, and Case with a 1-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets. Scott comes out of the net to grab the ball after it's redirected by one of the Spartans, and she'll jog it out to the top of the box and then launch a punt down the field. The Spartans there to take it away. Lead pass a little bit too long for Flynn. Doubling back, it's Litzinger for the Yellow Jackets. She sends it up to Rice. Rice and Gomez, they've been battling all night for good possession of the ball. And now Gomez will just run it out of bounds. Don't know if she necessarily intended to do that, but it will allow her teammates to retreat and get in better defensive position. 3 substitutions for the Yellow Jackets.
Starting the game for Baldwin Wallace, number 6, Ella Barth, number 18, Casey Goloff, and number 32, Bella Regal.
So Bella Regal joins Golubov and Barth back into the game for the Yellow Jackets. Regal near the top of the box. She has it headed away by a teammate. Pass into the box again is knocked away by the Spartans. Out near midfield it goes to Ackerman. Ackerman sends it down the field with the right foot, and it's taken away by Mary Meyer. Now Ella Barth will send it out of bounds. Last touch, Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Spartans. 2 substitutions for Case, 1 for the Yellow Jackets. Stewart back for the Yellow Jackets.
roster, number 22, Helena Van Bibber, and number 8, Abigail Menace.
Meneses and Van Bieber back for the Spartans. Long lead pass trickles all the way into the box, and it'll be scooped up by Katie Scott. Regal battling Jamie Goldfarb, and she put Goldfarb down hard, and that drew a foul from the official. It'll be a free kick just south of midfield for the Spartans. Gomez will take the free kick when play is resumed. And looks like Ackerman had some blood on her uniform and was sent off. The Carly Beringer will check into the game to replace Ackerman. Ackerman's been a key contributor all night for the Yellow Jackets. It's a good bit of hustle to keep this Case offense, this potent offense, at bay. An offense that has scored 4 goals in each of their first 2 games for a combined total of 8 coming into the game. BW has held the Spartans to 1 so far. Gomez restarts play with the free kick over to Mary Meyer. It's knocked away by Natalie Stewart, out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Throw in for the Spartans. Nope, throw in for the Yellow Jackets as it went off of one of the Spartans. Ella Barth will handle the throw in. Launches it to Sydney Rice. Rice sends a pass over to Golubov. Golubov now to Stewart on the right side. Stewart tracking it down in the corner. Keeps it in bounds. Working against one of the Spartans, trying to get into the box. It's taken away momentarily, but the Yellow Jackets will send it in and make Case clear it. Should be a throw-in for the Yellow Jackets. It'll be Ella Barth handling those duties. She gets it over to Stewart. Now back to Barth. Barth in the middle of the field to Philippi, but it's taken away by the Spartans. Van Bieber with the ball. But the Yellow Jackets are there. It's Golubov getting a pass after one of the Yellow Jackets take it away from the Spartans. She'll slip it over to Barth. Barth to Beringer. Now up the field to Stewart. But it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Yellow Jackets. Throw in for the Spartans. We're under 10 minutes to go here in the second half. Case with a 1-0 lead over the Yellow Jackets. Looking to make it a little bit bigger, but Hartman is whistled for offsides. It'll lead to Yellow Jacket free kick. And it looks like Katie Scott will handle those duties. And she sends it down the field, but it's headed away from the Yellow Jackets by the Spartans. Wolfinger will try and get the clear with the right foot. She does so to Stewart, but the Spartans are there to take it away. Yellow Jackets trying to retreat in the defense. The Spartans giving good pursuit. It's kicked out of bounds off of the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a corner for the Spartans. Mary Meyer will be handling the corner kick for the Yellow Jackets. Right foots it towards the box. It's headed away from the net. and then knocked out of bounds by the Yellow Jackets. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. It'll be Katie Rischel handling those duties. She'll get it back off the throw-in and then send it into the box where it's headed out by the Yellow Jackets. Pretty good battle there for the ball. It's kicked out by BW, controlled by the Spartans now. They'll reset. Slip a pass to Hartman. That's too long. Goes out of bounds. That's a goal kick for the Yellow Jackets. 7 minutes to go here in the second half. BW trails Case Western 1-0. BW yet to be defeated. Actually, either team has yet to be defeated this year. Case 2-0, BW 3-0. Bailey Hall and Paige Ackerman come back into the game for the Yellow Jackets. The throw in for BW gets taken away from Sydney Rice. Ackerman there to head the ball away from one of the Spartans, and now BW will try to give pursuit. They're running out of chances here, down 1-0 late in this second half. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Ella Barth will throw it in. She walks it quite a bit down the sideline, and the official will tell her to back it up about 5 yards. And now she'll launch in the throw, but it's headed away by the Spartans. Barth lowers her head and knocks it out of bounds off of one of the Spartans, so she'll get a throw in. Slip a pass over to a teammate, and it's sent out. It's a corner kick for the Yellow Jackets as Gomez lost a handle on it and had it roll over the goal line. Anna Wolfinger will handle the corner kick as we approach the 5-minute mark here in the second half. She right foots it into the box. Not touched by anybody. Ackerman with a left-footed shot, and it's just high of the net. Good-looking opportunity right there. Not the best angle, though, for her to get a good leg into the ball, but still a good challenge right there for the Yellow Jackets. Storty with the ball now. She sets it in place for the goal kick, and she'll send it up to midfield where Ackerman heads it back toward her side of the net now, and it'll get kicked back to Storty, who will launch it about 30 yards down the field before it's headed back toward her by one of the Yellow Jackets. Goluboff with a lead pass over to Farrell, and she sends it out. It'll be a goal kick for the Spartans. Well, we have this time, I want to remind you that tonight's Yellow Jacket women's soccer game is being brought to you by BSN Sports and Nike, the official apparel and uniform provider for Yellow Jacket Athletics. Cleveland Clinic Sports Medicine, proud medical provider for BW Athletics and its student athletes. Dan Andrews and Olympic Forest Products, a global recycling company. Tonight's game is also being brought to you by the Oswald Company, risk and insurance leaders since 1893. Chuck Rotuno and OE Connection LLC, your global automotive technology provider. Medical Mutual of Ohio, the official healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University. Barron's Bus Lines, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. And Mike's Bar and Grill in downtown Berea, the home of the Monday Night Athletics Roadshow. 3:20 to go here in the second half. BW trails the 12th-ranked Case Western Reserve University Spartans 1-0. Free kick for the Yellow Jackets. Wolfinger will handle that. It's headed away by one of the Spartans, but Barth will try to set up a teammate before the Spartans again take it back. Pass slip to Hartman. She dribbles it into the box, has it ricochet off of one of the Yellow Jackets, and BW will send it out. It'll be a throw-in for the Spartans. No, actually the official will say it was last touched by the Spartans. So it'll be a throw in for the Yellow Jackets. Ella Barth will throw it in. She gets it over to Philippi. Philippi trying to get it down the field to Farrell. But the Spartans say nothing doing on that. And they'll take the possession away. It's Mackenzie Mueller trying to track it down, but she's unable to do so. Goes out of bounds off of Mueller. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets. 2:16 to go here in the second half. Barth with the throw in, and it's knocked out of bounds again by the Spartans. Throw in for the Yellow Jackets, trying to get it to Sydney Rice. Nothing doing. Headed away by the Spartans. Now controlled by Farrell, and Farrell will send it out of bounds. And immediately shows some frustration with herself on that for the missed opportunity. The Spartans with the throw in. They get it to the middle of the field. Pass sent up to Van Bieber. Now the pass to Mackenzie Mueller. Her long lead pass will go out of bounds on the sideline. So it'll be a throw in for the Yellow Jackets. 1:22 to go. And BW has to go literally the length of the field to try and tie this game up. Case content to burn some of the clock. They'll slip it all the way back on their side of midfield before a pass goes long for Katie Davis. It'll be scooped up by Katie Scott of the Yellow Jackets. She'll punt it down the field, get it to the midfield stripe. It gets to Sydney Rice. Rice trying to pass it to Goluboff. It's taken away by the Spartans. Storty will launch it high into the air, where the Yellow Jackets will be able to head it down. And now there's a foul called on the Spartans. Yellow Jackets going to have to hurry. We're at 30 seconds to go here in the second half. Ackerman will cue it up. And it is a mad sprint for the Yellow Jackets toward the net. Ackerman with a beautiful kick into the box. It's headed out by the Spartans. Van Bieber puts her right foot into it, skies it along the sideline. It goes out of bounds. It's a throw in for the Yellow Jackets. They're not going to have enough time to get another shot on goal. And this game ends 1-0 in favor of the Case Western Reserve University Spartans. Under head coach Abby Richter, the Spartans improved to 3-0 on the campaign. They have defeated 3 straight Ohio Athletic Conference opponents to start the season. First 4-2 over Capital on September 1st, and then 4-0 against Otterbein on September 4th, and now 1-0 over the Yellow Jackets here on the 9th of September. BW drops their first game of the season. They fall to 3-1 after defeating Fredonia in the opener 1-0, and Penn State Barron 3-2 in the tournament championship game last weekend. They traveled to Oberlin and were victorious there before coming home and losing their home opener against the 12th ranked Case Western Reserve University Spartans. That'll do it for us here at Tressel Field inside George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. For everybody here at BWYellowJackets.com and the BW Athletic Department, my name is Matt Florjancic saying make today better than yesterday and make tomorrow better than today. Have a great night, everybody.